What's going on, guys? Here it is, Live with Wolfman, another episode 20. For those of you that are tuning in, I tried an experiment this morning, and I tried to broadcast it directly from the brand new Live with Wolfman group, but I realized that wasn't the best call. The group is not grown and developed quite enough where I can actually get everybody to tune in through that thing. Facebook, it's complicated. So, we're doing it again. Fresh start. Monday. Let's go. Today, we're talking about the greatest kickers ever. Who are the greatest kickers ever? Give me some floating thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Give me some floating hearts if you can hear the music playing. As you can see, I upgraded the show. Got myself a little countdown so you know when the actual show begins. Right now is the warm-up thing. You guys got to drop some highs, say hello, hit the share, hit some floating thumbs ups. You know how it works. Do the internet stuff, guys. Let's internet it up. We got to get lots of people tuned into the show today. Today is the first time in the history of the show that I have a live guest. I put in a little bit extra work today to make sure that this could be possible. And I've been researching how to do this for a couple weeks now. So hopefully it works. Today we're talking about the greatest kickers ever. And my special guest for today, Jeff DOSS, is probably the authority on the figure. He's a walking, talking encyclopedia of martial arts, and his legs could probably invade a small country. He could just kill any threat with those machines. All right, let's get some more people in here. I want to see what's up. Let me see what's going on over in the chats. What's going on? Refresh. Got my little chat box here. Who's in the comments today? Show starts in about 2 minutes, guys. What's up, Urban Tricks? Dude, I can't wait to talk to you or later this week. Hola, Mario. What's up, Ryan? Good morning, Hannah. Jeff DOSS? Jeff DOSS is in the comments? Yeah, tag some people, guys. Hit the share button. Let's grow the show. Let's get some more people tuned in. It's Monday. Let's go. Greatest kickers ever. History of the planet. That's what we're talking about today. Give me a floating heart if you can hear the music okay. Give me a sad face if you can't. Hearts if you can hear the music. Sad face if you can't hear the music. Okay, we got some yes and some no. Let me turn it up a little bit for you, I guess. All right, the music. There we go. Today we're talking about the greatest kicks in the history of the universe. Who are the greatest kickers? What is a good kick? Like, what qualifies as great kicks? I asked a question yesterday, and I've been getting feedback of your guys' opinions, what you guys think are the best kicks out there. And it was really interesting, some of your feedback. It actually made me really think about a question, like, what is a kick? Because at first, in my head, I was like, kicks are this, and this. But then you guys are giving me examples of other kinds of kicks that I wasn't thinking of. You're giving me people that had the best forms. You have people that are giving me the best fighting kicks. A lot of you actually gave me the best, like, kickers, like in football, which I think you were kidding, but it's interesting. And then some of you were giving me the best trickers that were kickers. So everybody has their own skill set within the world of kicking. So we're going to be talking about all about that stuff. And when I bring on our special guest for today, he's going to be giving some insight and some secrets of how to kick like your life depends on it. Like you want that first place trophy and corkscrews aren't allowed. Hit that share button, guys. We're going to get started. Woo! That's it. It's go time. And all right, guys. This is it. Woo! Am I ready? Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, What up, everybody? You're watching Live with Wolfman. I'm your host, Jacob Wolfman, and this is a show about all the things that I'm interested in and all the things that you're interested in. Today, we're talking about kicks, martial arts kicks in particular, and the kickers, the guys that actually, and the gals that actually do the kicks. So today is an exciting and risky day because I'm doing something brand new on the show. Today's episode 20, by the way. We are now in the 20s. We are one episode away from legally being able to drink on the show. So that's great. We are going to have a guest on the show today. Today's guest is one of the how do I describe this guy? He is, first of all, he's the president of NBL. So that's huge. Yeah. First guest, I got the president of a whole continental national martial arts circuit. Swag. Also, he's one of the greatest kickers. And he's still an active competitor, whether he likes to admit it or not. Jeff DOSS is the man. So without further ado, can I do this? Is this possible? Is this happening? Let's hope this works. So far, it's not working. All right, guys, give me 1 second. Like I said, first time I ever did this, and I have to figure out how to get him on the show because he was on the show and then he disappeared. So, Jeff, hold on 1 second. Everybody else, let's get more people in the show. Let's get more people in the show so that I have more motivation to get this guy in. Where is he? Where is he? Window. There it is, there it is, there it is. Bam, bam. I don't know where you're at, buddy. You're hiding. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Almost. I can see you on my other screen, but I'm not ready to share you yet. Hold on. Let's get you all looking nice. There, that's good. That's good. Yep, get those shoulders back. All right, well, this is going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jeff DOSS! Woo! What's up, man? I'm good, man. I'm pumped. I'm glad that you're here. This is awesome. So, today we're talking about the greatest kickers around, and I figured that there's no one better in the world to talk to about this subject than yourself. You have, made a statement in the martial arts scene for, as long as I've known anything about martial arts, as a guy that knows about kicks, cares about kicking, and wins with kicks. So, if you don't mind, the first thing that I want to do is just kind of show everybody who you are, because you're kind of a badass. So I'm gonna pull up a form from literally, this was last weekend, right? Okay, so 2 days ago. This is you competing 2 days ago. And while I get this form up, can you give them the history of what you're doing in this, the significance of this division? Really? You just... That's awesome. All right, so it says a freestyle. All right, but this gives you a really good example of Jeff's freaking crazy kicks. He does not mess around. Does it feel weird watching your form while people are watching your form? Oh, no! Oh, dang. Lost it. Okay. Oh, by the way, I'm getting a note here that nobody can hear you, Jeff. Can you talk again?
Yes.
Mic check,
Hello.
1 2. That's my fault. I muted you, dude. I screwed up. Thank you, Evan, for ruining, and Sifu for ruining that video to let me know that nobody can hear Jeff. So far, Jeff hasn't said too much other than thank you, but what he was explaining was the fact. Man, I feel dumb. What he was explaining. Go ahead, Jeff. Explain again what the significance of this tournament is, because right now we're showing off Jeff's kicking abilities.
All right. So this tournament was the first tournament that I ever went to as a kid, as a 4-year-old, and so they brought it back after like 20-something years, and I went there to support it as the president of the NBL. And I had some students there, and then I just decided I had a gi in the car and decided to put it on and go out there and compete. And thought it'd be cool to compete at the first tournament I ever went to. So it was a good time. And yes, I freestyle.
You did what?
And yes, I freestyle. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, since 1998, I probably made up all my forms on the spot. So for the most part.
Can you guys hear Jeff now? Give me floating hearts if you can hear Jeff. Floating hearts if you can hear Jeff.
Yes, no.
Okay, good. Alright, check out Jeff's kicks. Woo! It's a good starter. Look at that! Look at that! God, that's crazy! See? Alright, this is what we're going to talk about today. Nobody can do that today. Why? Why is that?
Yeah, but then after that it was a lot of fun. I did
yeah. And the front kick. Like, nobody does that. I haven't seen that since like 2004 with Stephen Horst.
Right, yeah.
Like, that was 13 years ago. Kids competing today weren't even alive yet.
Yeah, this is where I decided I shouldn't have done that anymore.
Oh, the people's elbow!
But yeah, that's a lot of fun.
All right, give it up for Jeff DOSS.
Thank you.
All right, so again, that was last weekend. So that's pretty awesome. That's pretty relevant. I'm not like showing some old video from 100 years ago. This is the president of NBL competing on that kind of level. You don't see any tournament promoters of anywhere else other than, okay, I can think of one person. I can think of Mike Welch, but no, yeah. I can't think of a single other tournament promoter who can just walk out there. I haven't competed in a year. I'll just freestyle it and just kill it. Can you? I mean, is there anybody else like you out there?
There's in our league we have some. Edgar Cordova in Guatemala. He can still do it, and he's older than I am. And there's a couple others like that are, yeah, I mean, it's cool for us to be able to go out there and still do it, you know what I mean? There's a couple of us can, but I'm trying to shut it down. But when I have a tournament that, I can go out and I'm allowed to compete, why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are like, you're rare Pokemon. That's what you are. So today we are talking about the greatest kickers ever. So what is like who are the greatest kickers ever, and like how do you become the greatest kicker ever? I guess. I mean, that's kind of a tough question. But first off, I just want to like commentate. Like, let's see. Let me just play this again. I'm gonna play it on silent and just let it play for a little while, just so we have some background stuff. But I want to talk about like your thoughts on why a style like this doesn't exist. Like, why aren't people kicking like this anymore?
I mean, there's a couple different things. Let's see, back, when it really started kind of going away, I mean, really it's been a long time that it's kind of gone away. It's really like around the, like 97 maybe, was when we stopped seeing forms maybe kind of like this. Everyone kind of went to, that's really where the whole round off flash or backflip to the corner started coming in, and it kept getting worse and worse. Not saying, I'm sorry, in my opinion, I guess worse and worse.
Yeah.
But as far as, it's not that it's a bad thing, it's just that creativity needs to continue. And that doesn't just mean, there needs to be different styles. And I think one of the biggest thing is that people thought that kicking wasn't difficult. And now, to me, my argument is there's less and less people doing it. So obviously, it's pretty darn difficult.
Mm-hmm.
If maybe 1% of all black belts in the world can do a correct side kick.
Yeah.
I mean that's not a. I mean, and even instructors can't tell, because even when you teach the side kick as to a young person, you tell them this is probably the most difficult kick. There's so many details to that one kick to get it right, and I think that's one of the things. And I just think that we've seen, getting high and getting jumping ability and things like that looks cool and may look cooler to some people.
Yeah. So, well, I got a question for you. I'm just thinking out loud here. Like, a lot of people, we get this conundrum where, like tricking, modern day tricking and stuff. We say that like the judges don't know what they're looking at. They don't know what they're talking about because they're interested in the old traditional like basics. That's what they want to judge you on. But yet we keep seeing a trend of people just doing more and more tricking, more and more stuff, and winning as a result of it. But like they're not doing kicks. Like where's
it kind of doesn't make sense, right?
Right.
It's we're saying one thing, but then the other thing's happening. So I think the judges, they just see something big and they're like, oh wow, that's awesome, and really, and in their mind, they don't have to think about it as much. They kind of can't pick it apart because they don't know the details.
Yeah.
And for me, if I just did, I don't even know how many kicks I did there, maybe 40 something. There may be a spot where I bobble or I'm pivoting so it looks like I move a little bit. You know what I mean?
I guess.
And I think sometimes they look at those details because they know those a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than say if your toes are supposed to be pointed on a flash or something, because they don't have that background. I just think that and it's not me. I don't want people to think that it's me bashing trick, because I don't think tricking is about flipping or whatever. I think it's a combination of flips and gymnastics with kicks.
Yeah.
And so that's why there's an ick at the end of it.
No, well, so
it should be a kick.
You said something super interesting there. You said that the judges are more familiar with the solid foundation kicks and stuff, so they're more able to spot the flaws. So they might actually downgrade you if you have imperfect kicks, but they're not familiar with the flips. So if you screw up and you don't do well on a flip, you might not actually lose points because the judges don't know. So that's actually super. I never even thought of that. Like that could be another reason why, consciously or unconsciously, you'll see more kicks and flips and stuff, because the judges don't know right from wrong. So they're just gonna say that was cool, and go on with it.
And it's I mean, there's just so many other little details that maybe they don't understand. Even people the same thing with kicking. I mean, it's that whole idea with Japanese forms and Korean forms. Well, they bobbled a little bit on this. Yes, but in the traditional Korean form, you're supposed to hold that kick for 5 seconds or whatever. Yeah. So that's a difficult thing. I think the difficulty that people don't really understand that is, they see this and say, oh, that's basic, that you have good basics. That's what, from the outside, I think, see that, But, it's everybody has their own opinion on everything. I mean, I that's why we do the sport. It's fun. But for me, my whole thing was I wanted to do it my way, and I wanted to do it with, with martial arts and good kicks. So,
yeah. And I respect that times 1,000. Like, that's why I wanted you on the show.
Yes,
like,
sir.
You have you really don't follow the trends. You're like, I'm gonna do my thing, and I think part of that is just because you know the history. You're kind of a. I think I've called you this to your face before, but you're like a living dinosaur. Like, you compete in a style from an era that is like long since past, but you stand out so much today as a result of it, and like I think it's just really inspiring. It's just awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's what I hope. I hope people, understand that, and that it doesn't mean that because I'm a kicker, that I only like kicks. I only like, but for me, it does mean though that I would want to see the real you. You know what I mean? When you compete, I want to see what you want to bring to it and not what everyone else does, and you just want to follow the trend. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways, and even for me, I could still be more old school and just do John Chung's type form or John Furnette's form. You know what I mean? But I always wanted to come up with new kicks and things. That was where the new the kicking on the knee and the kicking combinations while on my knee and in a circle and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I wanted to invent kicks. So
as we keep talking, I think I want to hear your thoughts on how to train these kicks. And as we talk, I want to switch gears and I'm going to play this video. I watched this last night. This is somebody in the comments suggested this one, and I was just blown away by these guys. Can you give me a history lesson of who these two guys are?
So I put this up there last night. I think it was me.
Okay.
And so it's Jerry Prince, and I cannot think of the lady's name with it, but Jerry Prince was probably the #2 super lightweight fighter for several years in the 80s and late 80s and early 90s. And then same thing with forms. He was probably the #2 one with forms. He was right behind John Furnette. His kicks are just amazing, and he could do these in fighting too. There's so many people from this time period. Another one that I was actually talking to Saturday is Eddie Thomas, and people don't know the history of Eddie Thomas. Eddie Thomas is John Valera's instructor.
Oh, wow.
And he, has beaten several people in fighting and in forms. And so we were just talking about all these, all the kicks and all the things going on that we miss nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so right now what they're doing, this is like a team form. It's a demo that they're doing, and it's going to the beat, the dueling banjos.
Yeah. Let me turn up the volume a little bit for everybody. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so this is like a 3.5 minute long demo, and they're kicking the whole time.
Yeah,
and that is insane. It's really hard. One of the things, I think, another thing that people forget about, and they see this, and maybe the outside, they're just kicking real slow, or they're just this or that. That's even harder to do. The balance part. Absolutely. And really on this part, they do this the whole time, and I don't see many like balance steps or things like that, and I've done slow motion forms that were like this with legs and kicks, and it's hard to do it without messing up at all. So
it's about to get crazy. Like everybody knows this song. Yeah. Actually, there's been a lot of team forms in the history with the dueling. Or no, it was Devil Went Down to Georgia. Same concept.
Same concept though. This is kind of where a lot of it came from, was this one.
Yeah.
So she's doing the multiple kicks over and over, hook, round, and
you think of the best competitor you can possibly think of in the sport in the world today. Yeah. They don't hold a candle as far as their kicking abilities to this. They really don't.
Right. And one of the things we're forgetting too is look at the precision. They're doing it right next to each other's face the whole time.
Yeah, I know.
That's the control and stuff. Boom, boom, right there, over and over.
It's crazy. I mean,
and there's other stuff too. Is just the round kicks, the spin, the jump outsides, the jump hooks. And the thing is too, you don't see females do. Some I always said with some of my female students is, if you can do a jump outside, crescent or jump hook off both feet and land on both feet at the same time, that's rare for females. You don't see that much. And so she's able to do that as well. So it's pretty awesome. Boom. And the showmanship, and this place is going crazy.
Man, that is just so cool. Like, that's an awesome little piece of history. I've never seen that before. I was so stoked when I saw that last night. I think obviously the skill set is there, but things are different now. Like, what's taken the place of all of those kicks is now the performances now are way more dynamic and way more like the choreography is more intense, and the showmanship and like the use of the floor and the demo teams. That would be the demo team division, I would assume. If that was I don't know where. I guess the demo team, because it's not synchronized. But like,
that was just a demo. Yeah. They did.
I mean, it would be sweet if the demo team division today was able to like incorporate something like that. I think everybody does a lot of copycat stuff, and so like whoever's winning, everybody else just kind of does that. But if you go through the history books, you can find some ideas to express martial arts in some really, really sweet ways.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If you guys have any comments or you have any suggestions about who you want to be up on the show for the greatest kickers of all time, I'm happy to pop them up on the show while we talk about it. Jeff, I think something else I wanted to get out of you, I kind of asked earlier, but we kind of just started talking about this video, but can you give us some tips of like how to train kicks like that? What do you do? I mean, I'm sure you got it down to a science at this point.
Yes and no. I mean, the way for me to improve is to keep evolving, right? And especially as a growing person, your your body changes, and you have to adapt to that as well. So at 33 years old, I have to keep finding new ways to make myself better and to be able to do this, but also be able to teach others how to do it. So one of the first things, of course, everyone's going to say stretching, right? And yes, stretching is very important, but I think one of the key things people forget about is the way to stretch. For me, it was always stretching kick specific. So what that means is if I'm putting my leg, straight out in front of me, I'm not going to just touch my front hand to my foot, right? If you can see it there. Yeah. I'm going to actually, because when I do a front kick, I don't kick like that. I kick in the center, so I need to make sure that I'm centered when I'm doing, my stretching. That's just a basic thing of that. I do side lunges, and I change the level and the way I kick. I mean, the way I stretch. In mindset of I'm stretching for my front kick, I'm stretching for my side kick, I'm stretching for my twist kick, my inverted front kick, my hook kick, my axe kick. That's one of the things, as far as that I think people forget about. And also stretching for your chamber, have your chamber. If you don't have a solid chamber, you cannot, go on after that. So that's your base.
So number one tip to be a great kicker is you've got to focus on the stretching.
Right.
Okay.
And again, take your time with it, but again, focus on how you would do it if you were kicking right then. Not just that, hey, I need a stretch, and this is just my basic stretch that my sensei taught me.
So we've had a few requests for Stephen Horst, so I'm playing him in the background right now.
Awesome.
And he hasn't competed in over a decade, as far as I know, but his kicks are Jeff DOSS level.
Yes. So a little history on Stephen. Yeah, on Stephen and I, as far as us two's our history kind of together. Mm-hmm. We were around the same era. So actually, 1997 was when he kind of started coming out, and I had been on the circuit a few years already, and we were in the same division and battling Butch Marks for first place almost every tournament. And so he pushed me, I pushed him. Our kicking styles, some people would be like, oh, they do the same thing, but it's a lot different. Our styles and stuff. He's actually way more flexible than I am. Yeah. So that makes and so it's really cool to see that part. And he comes from like a Mike Chat background, and I come from John Valera background, so it's a different, as far as our private instructors at that time. So yeah, I mean, he has those awesome kicks, sticking it, and focusing on that, and then the jump outside to the split.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about how like flexibility is key to be a good kicker, and I think Stephen Horst kind of proves that.
and I think for Stephen, I think one of his flaws, younger wise, was not having the power in his kicks he did, and then that year that he started coming back competing, it really showed that he had that power. And if you see him today, like he's like a beast now. Like he is in just amazing shape, and still be able to do that. He also comes from he has a breakdancing background as well too, so that helped him a lot.
That's interesting. I wonder if there's any videos out there of him in recent times.
It's on Instagram. I don't think doing any forms or anything like that. But,
all right.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would take too long for me to dig them up on
Yeah.
the show live. But
Right.
I want to show everybody. Okay, so flexibility is key. Now, are there any like drills that you do? Because like, okay, so for example, the one thing you do, not the one thing, but one thing you do that hardly anybody in the world does is the front kick that you just
Right.
lock it out and you hold it so long that you check the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Like, how do you train that?
So again, the slow motion drills. I mean, almost every class we do balance drills where you're holding your chamber forever, and most classes do that. And then you extend it out, and then you try from there. You try to raise it up, which is really hard to do. Which once your legs extended, trying to raise it up. So that's one of the things we do is the slow motion stuff, but starting, a basic putting your hand on the wall and then kind of slowly going up and doing that. I think that. Wow, I like that.
Hold on, we'll get to it.
Yeah. I think that as far as for that kick per se, it's a combo of the two of working your hold, and then in between, right after that, you stretch that same thing that you're doing. Then you go back to it. Then you stretch it. Then you go back. So it's got to be a combination. It's not like I stretch before I work out and that's it. The stretching helps me elevate it so that way I can add the difficulty level to it the next time I drill it. If you understand what I'm saying.
So if you're gonna hold your front kick out,
yeah,
and
I'm gonna hold it like for 10 seconds.
That's it.
Then I'll go and I'll work on. I'll actually put my foot on the wall in that same thing and stretch that leg. Then I'll go back. Then I'll hold it for 20 seconds.
Oh,
and then I'll go back, stretch, and do different things to get it, because the hamstring is tightening while you're doing that, right? So you want to make sure that you're able to keep that flexibility, and then add longer and longer and longer. So that's part of it. For like a front kick. I also do things like adding weights to it, or ankle weights, or even adding like dumbbells in my arms, so that way I'm keeping my chambers, my guards up, and things like that, balance like that.
I wish I had the video. Was it 2 years ago for Martial Arts Athlete? It was like a challenge, Martial Arts Athlete Month. You did this crazy video where you had like weights and you're doing kicks with weights. And I thought that was sweet.
Yeah, one of the things I did, I think I was doing I did 35 seconds of kicks straight without putting my foot down.
Yeah.
And then I went to 45. Then I went, and so that is, during that I'm probably doing maybe 200 kicks, maybe more than that, but without putting it down, and that's really tough. And I think that's one thing that everyone needs to kind of start doing. Give yourself goals and just kind of slowly go up there and do that.
So I wanna show another video. So the show is about who are the greatest kickers, and in my head I was thinking kickers like Jeff DOSS, who can do standing kicks and just all day long, hold a front kick, super power, basically just walking with cannons as legs. But other people respect other kinds of kicks out there, and I didn't think of it until somebody posted it. But I want to show a totally different way to say who are the greatest kickers in the world. And we're going to show somebody. His name's Andy Lee. Andy Lee is a soft stylist background, but he's really a martial arts tricker at heart. He's a tricker at heart / I'm not sure what he is at heart. He's this weird blend. But
he's one of my favorites.
Oh man! So we're gonna watch Andy Lee. You'll see his tricking abilities, but you'll see the extension. Like you'll see the craftsmanship, the style, the unique flavor, everything he does. So let's just let this play out. I mean, bam!
Yeah, I love that. It's the combo of like the Taekwondo with the Wushu. It's really cool.
Yeah. And now, one thing that's interesting about Andy Lee, because I used to actually train with him for a while. Him and his brother Brian are primarily self-taught. They just study everything. I don't know if they watch kung fu movies or what it is, but they watch kung fu movies. They copy it, and then they take tricking, and then they just blend it all together.
Yeah,
it's
so cool.
There's not like he doesn't have like a secret coach who's teaching him this stuff. This is all just willpower.
Well,
you know?
and if you see it too, like with I think some of the wushu stuff, but it kind of gives his own style. You know what I mean? There's so much flavor in everything he does in extension, and I think that's what some people forget too is the extension and the full execution of things actually give you your flavor and your style a little bit as well too. You know, you accentuate everything to where it's a big deal. Then
tell me a little bit more about what you mean by style. Like you keep talking about martial arts like kicking style. So are you trying to tell me that there isn't a right and wrong, or like what is a kick style?
Yeah, well, so like for me, all right. So this is a hard one, but
I'm gonna give you hard questions. You got this.
So again, there's. I'm not gonna go out there and do like John Chung style, stick and round kick, stick and side kick, and then hook round combinations at the end. You know, and to where it's creative, but it's almost creative in a traditional aspect. And then you have kind of adding the twist kicks in there and things. And Mike Chat did a good job of doing the combinations like that, right? So that's kind of his style, is more of a combo of a little bit of the tricking, into the showmanship part of the kicks part, And for me, mine's kind of like a big excel of all of it, like a big escalation, of all of it, to where where people are just like, when is he going to finish this kick combo? Oh my God, this is great,
Right,
I want to go on that long. And then but again, there's certain people that are really good at side kicks. There's certain people that are really good at holding kicks. And then there's people that are good at maybe like the creativity part of it. So I think some people who say their favorite kicker is this or that, it kind of depends on what style of that they like. Say like a Ben Brown, was really a great tricker and a trick kicker. But he had one spot in his form where he did the side kick, hold, raise up, side get, hold, raise up, side get, hold, raise up. And so that is a whole different style. I'd never seen him do multiple kicks over and over and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So there are different things like that everyone gives, their style for it. I did the front kick hold. Kim Do used to do a front kick hold. Someone way before that, Randy Dugas used to do one straight up and hold it. I don't even know how, he could do that, but he was way back in like 92, 93. And so there are just, different styles as far as that go. Then you have your kickers that are really spin kickers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And jump kickers. But not necessarily trickers, but jump kickers. Like, again, some of the Koreans that have taken to a whole nother level.
Speaking of Koreans, I want to play another tricker kicker. This guy, his name is Ingung Yu, a.k.a. Kick Gun, because his kicks are like, it's like he has guns for legs, and he just fires them away. And I've seen this guy. I actually went to Korea once and went to where he trained, and I got to see it in person. I've seen him in America too, but he's amazing. He's absolutely, his accuracy is on a whole level that is hard to really wrap your head around. I've seen videos where he'll do a cheat 900 or cheat 10, and he'll kick a cigarette out of somebody's mouth.
It's crazy.
The accuracy it's nuts. So somebody recommended an Ingun Yu video, so we're gonna watch Ingun. I mean,
and
everybody can say oh yeah, okay, he can flip in the air and he can throw his leg around, but he can also hit targets. He knows what he's doing. He hits things. It's not he's just aimlessly shooting his legs out there.
Right.
Now, obviously, these kicks aren't gonna they're not gonna be used in combat, but I don't care. They're just amazing to watch.
But if he put that level of intensity just in a basic hook kick, imagine what it would do to you, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Do that. So that's when people say that, I just laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's oh, well, that 540 is not going to do anything. Yeah, but my tornado will. My round kick will.
Yeah.
Because I can do a 540.
Exactly.
Yeah. I do laugh at all those. I laugh at anybody in the martial arts world that knocks on somebody else because they don't do it the same way as them. I just think it's such ignorant, like,
Oh yeah.
this old, it's usually these old guys that are like stuck in a rut and they think they know the way things should be, or so. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's laughable. It makes you sound so like it's time for the nursing home, buddy. You know, just tired of it. Oh, you know what? I realized I haven't even been playing. They just been watching us. Let's watch more kick.
You haven't been playing the video? Oh
well. We'll watch it again. I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's awesome.
Yeah, this is Kick Gun. He's actually going so fast that the video is like blurry because he's just moving too fast with the cameras.
So, as far as some of the first like kickers like this that were doing this, the jump kicks, people always talk about Carmichael Simon, John Valera, and they were some of the first ones doing this. But before that, Stephen Ho, who was Ninja Turtle and everything, Ernie Reyes Jr. Several of those guys that did and they were doing things that you didn't see again for a good 5-6 years, because they were trying to be creative with it. Like you never saw Fei Longs, but they were doing it back then. Things like that.
That's cool. Were they calling it a Fei Long?
No, it wasn't called that. No.
I was like, what came first, Stephen Ho's Fei Long or Street Fighter?
No, yeah, no, it's again, my tricking terminology is all messed up because I call it all kinds of things that.
Yeah, everybody's tricking terminology is messed up.
It's funny.
I don't know if you're familiar with TKT at all.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like that. That's the only way to get people on the same page, but it requires you to like really study that. It's like speaking a second language. Right. But all right, so you guys get the point about Kick Gun. He's just bananas. Bananas. If you guys have any other suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I'll play the greatest kickers of all times. So, Jeff, you gave us flexibility, and then you gave us a drill about, like, you got to hold it, for example, hold it for 10 seconds, then stretch, hold it for 20 seconds, and, like, just work it, like, relax the hamstring every time that you tense it up, and then just keep doing it. Right. Yeah, and so when you're doing that, you're working your strength in your legs, but you're also working your balance too. So that's one of the key things, of course, is having good balance. And kind of talking about what we did too, you can do the same thing of holding one kick, or you can do, if I put my leg up there and I would do 30 front kicks without trying to do it without putting it to the ground. It's just as hard, as holding it out there. So if you can kind of work on both, during a 10-minute time span of working the extension, the hold, with the intensity, the power, the explosion part of it, then you're going to be a well-rounded kicker. Now, again, that's just, for one kick. And you do that, and you take that time on each kick, then each one's going to get better. Just like if I do a hook kick, I go slow, all the way around, back. Do it again. Do it 2 times. Then I'll go fast. Pop, pop, those kind of things that we'll do there. So, all right. So give me the background of this video we're watching right now.
All right. So 2009, Emerson Doyle put on an event called Creative Clash, and so that was me doing the multiple kicks on my knee.
That's awesome. So
the 720, boom, boom. Now again, it's really hard to do multiple kicks on a bouncy floor. So
yeah.
But so Emerson Doyle did this. This is one of the first like tricking tournaments that I've ever heard of or even been to. And the idea, we had the freestyle division, we had a sport karate division, we had this is the strictly kicks.
So what's the rules for strictly kicks? So
this, just everything has to have a kick in it. Doesn't mean you can't go upside down or anything like that, but the focus is on kicking. Okay. We have 4 rounds. So we have some. This is like so before some of these guys we got big names like Mo and Jefferson and stuff. And this doing this event actually was kind of funny because I never thought I had
Oh!
Me, yeah.
Oh, there's a replay.
This is probably my favorite one though.
Oh man, that's sick.
360 round. Boom.
That's worth rewinding. Hold on, that combo is crazy. So you did a 720, but you pumped your legs. Is some.
Well, I was trying to do like a flying squirrel, like grab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, there it is. So he grabs the legs.
Yep.
Comes around. Bam.
Yep.
That's awesome. And then there's another one just for good measure. And you do the kicks, but you don't set your foot down.
Right.
So you do the pop front. Don't put your foot down, and then go straight into. That's cool. Right. I like that. Again, doesn't set the foot down. That's cool. Hold on. One more. I get excited, and I just want to watch it again and again. And pop! That was cool.
Yeah. So this was cool. The next year, I mean, we had some big, Ross Constant. The next year, I think, I'm trying to remember. The team from California came out, and so it's been a fun time. I think Bubba and Javier Macias went battling against each other the next 2 years, and so it was funny. I didn't think I had a whole spot in the tricking world until this event, and it was kind of funny. They all respected me for kicks and stuff.
What?
So a bunch of 720s in a row.
I've never seen that. That's awesome.
Standing one, trying.
Did you puke after that?
Yeah, probably should have. But yeah, so I mean, we had a lot of fun doing these events like that. Yeah. Really focusing on the kicks, and I got to give it to Emerson and Jefferson and those guys, because they really push that flavor, and that it's not just about flipping and gymnastics, it's about the kicking aspect of it as well. So
sure. Yeah, I went to the Creative Clash of the Year after this, and that's when I started at the documentary that I made. And this was like one of the first locations I was at. And then I went to JL's gatherings for the next 4 of them or something like that, and it was always just a highlight. I would do anything I could to get out to DC to hang out and train with these guys.
And it's just a cool vibe, man. I mean, everybody is there to push each other, and no one hates on each other, which I hadn't experienced before. So it's really cool. And honestly, after this is kind of when I started being successful again in sport karate after that. So
oh wait, I missed the clutch here. What was that? What was that last screen? Hold on, guys. Just so you know. Hold on. Where's the final fade? Jeff DOSS winner.
Funny, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean that was a cool event as well. Vince Johnson was there, one of the judges. The Khans were competing as well, and I think Hans was there as well that week. So we all, we had a good old time, and helping each other out and pushing the envelope in different ways. And so for me, it was cool that all of them that to my were trickers appreciated me for my kicks.
Yeah.
And from there, for another 2 or 3 years, we were always training with each other from there and helping each other out. So it was really cool.
Yeah, it's a good little era of time. I want to share one more that somebody else requested. This is a duo sampler with Anis Shufra and Tim Man.
All right.
Tim Man is another one of my favorite kickers. He's just super clean, and he has that healthy balance of I got the real kicks and I got the tricks. And then Anis, he's just they say float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. That's Anis right there.
Yes.
There's Tim Man.
Yeah, I love this one.
Yeah.
All right, so
oof. Go for it. Educate us. What's going on? What do you like?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I like all of it. I like the extension on everything. I mean, it's just cool to not just to see, the adding of the kick at the end of the aerial. You know what I mean? And and that there's power. I mean, that's something. Those multiple kicks in there is what's cool to me. You see a side round or a hook round in the middle of a 3, that's why I loved him, man. He's awesome at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even in these too, I mean, but he'll take it to a whole nother level. That's why he's probably one of my favorites. Because that's go back to that one.
Okay.
The side kick cork round.
Hold on, it's coming in a second. Tin Man's gonna go, and then he'll be after.
Yeah.
Here it is. Bam!
That's
Watch it
insane.
again. One more time. So he kicks once, corks, kicks again. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean that, and that's hard to do unless you have, especially that looks like something you would do like off of someone's chest, you know what I mean, or a wall,
Sure.
you know what I mean, because you have a push off to do that. But he did that without any push off.
Right.
It's cool.
So one thing I've kind of, like, through this conversation today, one thing I'm kind of noticing, I mean, I've always noticed it, I just never connected the dots, but, like, kicking is a rare art form, and whether you're competing in sport martial arts, or you're just tricking, a lot of people don't respect the kicks as much as they ought to. Like, if you're a tricker, if you can't kick, you just do dubs and corks and stuff, and you just spin a lot. And then if you're a sport martial arts competitor, you might just, you just don't kick. You'll do other things. You'll do backflips and stuff. And the same kind of story as tricking.
Right.
Like, I think it's after talking today and after watching this stuff, I think it's really hard to deny that kicking is, like, an extremely difficult skill set. It takes a lot of dedication to be able to properly actually execute a kick. How do you think we get, like, the martial arts community or the tricking community to, I don't know, respect the kicks more? Like, people get so caught up in the backflips and the flash kicks and stuff.
I mean, some of that is education. Some of it is just actually more people putting out kicks, like videos.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that if you show people this, like just a nice, perfect jump outside crescent or a jump through, people are like, wow, that's awesome. I mean, I think just the more that you see that, the more people will appreciate and understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, I hate to say it, but are afraid to do that.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, they're like, well, why? I'm not going to focus on my kicks because I need to do a backflip or I need to do a cork or I need to do this or that. And that's kind of what they feel like they need to do or they have to do to be on a certain level.
Yeah.
And so they forget the other part of it, And I just think that it all needs to be some importance to you, The more you learn, the more you can do, the more you evolve as a person, the better you get, the more you grow,
Sure.
So I don't think, but I think more people need to appreciate it. But again, they're not going to appreciate it if you don't see it, So everyone just has to come out of their shell and show them, There are more people than just myself, you know what I mean, that can kick. So I mean,
sure.
It's like, yeah.
But they're not all president of NBL, so they're not going to be on my show.
Right. I mean, of course, I have students that kick and stuff, and they do well. There's some other ones as well. Again, I always bring her up, Mika Rosekrantz, who's an awesome competitor. I know it's hard to find video on her, but
you have brought her up. Yeah.
Her power on her kicks are just crazy, and it's good, clean, solid technique.
Let's watch one. You've mentioned her several times, and I keep not showing her on the show because I run out of time or something.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right, so this is 2015. I'm just gonna let this one play. I've never seen it. I've never seen her compete. I've heard your recommendations several times. Yeah,
this was her. I think competing against Tim Conkle. I think she had, and again, a female. Can compete with a male. She had beaten him in one of the divisions, and then I think this is for the grand. I think.
All right, turn up the audio a little bit. A little more theatrical. All right, so this is an interesting. First of all, this is super interesting because I've been to a couple NBL tournaments, but I grew up in the NASCA world, and I'm way more familiar with NASCA rules. I think it's interesting that NBL has a male-female, the same division. They're going head-to-head. It's called the male and female.
Yeah, this is open. I think she won open musical, but her choreography is awesome. That's
cool. Now, do you find, over the course of time on NBL, do males or females tend to win over each other, or is it an even split? Or
I mean, people would say probably it's more male over female, but you have someone like Mika that can just like she throws a front kick, you don't see, and then just different kicks that you don't necessarily see. Like a standing outside crescent kick that snaps. A hook kick that snaps.
Right. And everything she does snaps in her hands.
Yeah. So it's cool. She's from Northern California.
Nice.
And she's a Tang Sudo, so her traditional Korean style is awesome as well. She was actually like the first one to beat me in Korean forms in like 5-6 years. So she's awesome. So yeah, I mean, her head to head with Tim was awesome. To see just a dip like that, you don't really see that. A little bit of the tricky mixed with the solid clean technique.
Right.
So and yeah, so
that's what I kind of see where the sport ought to be. Like, in my eyes, like, that was a great form because it does have that complete balance of everything that kind of embodies what is great in the sport in today's era. Like, she's got the solid kicks. No, she doesn't have the kicks that, like, some of the kicks we watched before that were just like all day. But she's like, the kicks she does them very well. Right. But she also has that blend of, like, I can trick as well, and I got snap in everything I do, whether I'm tricking or kicking or hands. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. So
someone to always look out for.
Evan asked, he wants to find more videos of hers. What's her name? So let me see if I can blow up my screen here.
Whoa! Do you see one of the comments we have up here?
Evan, yeah. So this is how you spell her name. Y'all see that? Cool. Let's see what other comments we got going on in here.
Okay, I got a little confused at first. I was getting excited because I saw a Jimmy James Fam, and I started thinking that it was
Jimmy
Fam.
No, I don't think so. I haven't heard from him, and I mean, I've never heard from him. I've only seen his ancient videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, we just watching Anise. Josh Durbin's in the house. What's up, dude? Eric Day, she's from Sacramento.
Yes.
Jet Leroy says, too often I see tricking kicks are just flailing with no power. After these DOSS kicks, the bar has been raised quite high. Man, the bar's always been there. People just didn't know it.
Another one, I think Joe Falanga is someone else too. Sure. He put I don't know what video he has up there, but he's an awesome kicker. His whole family can kick. I mean, he's an awesome competitor with the with fighting and forms.
Yeah, I just looked him up as you said his name, and he had mostly fighting forms. Is he wearing? I think he's wearing a fighting uniform.
Right. I think he moved over, was fighting, and then ran over and did forms.
Awesome. Why not? I mean, what? Okay, why can't you compete in a forms division with fighting uniform? Is that like just taboo? Is that gonna hinder you?
You can. Yeah, I mean, some people do.
I rarely see it.
I never liked it because I don't get the snap. But honestly in NBL a lot of people did it, and some people still do. You see more forms people do it, like weapons, bow people do it more. But
okay.
I mean, I've seen Jackson, do it with his fighting uniform on before. There we go. There's a side kick.
It's interesting because he doesn't fight.
Boom, boom.
Look at those kicks.
Yeah, this is
wow,
awesome.
Bam! Woo! Yeah, this guy's very clean, very strong.
Yeah.
Where is he from?
New York. So he's from a Tang Sudo background as well.
Do you think NBL attracts more kickers than NASCA?
Just somewhat. It depends on the year, man. It really depends on the year, up and down. But I think that it draws that people that that feel like they can, let's see, that they'll be appreciated more maybe. Like their style is a little different than everybody else's.
Yeah.
You kind of see that for years, you know, because again, people don't know about me. I came from a NASCAR background.
Yeah.
And I won on NASCAR several years, and when I started doing both, I really saw the growth in, you know, and how it was, because there were rules, there were things that made me work harder and had to do different things, you know. Plus, back then in NASCAR, you could only do one division, like one form, one weapon, one fighting. In NBL, you could do as many as you wanted, so it made it where you learn more, and say, hey, I want to learn a Taekwondo form. Okay, I'm going to do that. You know, I want to learn soft style. I mean, you had all kinds of people doing soft style back in the day, like Jason Tankson and then Jason Borelli. Sorry, I still call him Jason Tankson, but Jason Borelli, and you know, all kinds of different people that were doing soft back then. Even like Casey Marks, she didn't do Korean forms until she went to NBL and started doing it, and now all of her students compete in Korean forms as well. So it made a lot of people work hard and learn, you know.
Cool. Yeah.
And
put yourself out there in a new environment.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I think yes, you do see it. We used to even had a rule where you had to do 3 kicks in creative in forms. And I always say creative just because creative to me is open forms, extreme forms, whatever. It's creative to me. So that's kind of part of that. That used to be one of those, and I mean, in some ways, I wish we still had it, but now we had the creative limited division, so it's that kind of replaces that, you know, the need for those.
I feel like I could have an entire week-long talk with you where we could go into digging about NBL and all of the things, because that's a whole nother thing. So in the future, I definitely want to have you on as a guest again, and we can talk about things that are going on in NBL, like the comparisons between NASCAR versus NBL, or you have so much insight on so many topics. So I think our hour's up, so our time limit is up, and I want to just thank everybody that has been watching this show for 20 episodes now. It's been awesome. Every time I put a little bit more work into it, you guys show love, so I show love back. Today was our first official guest, Jeff DOSS. So Jeff, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Man, super awesome. I think we had a great show today. If you guys enjoyed it, you know, give me the floating thumbs up. If you haven't hit that at least once, like, shame on you, man. Hit the floating thumbs up. Let's go. Hit that share button. And if you guys want to watch more episodes, we got a brand new group on Facebook, Live with Wolfman. So go on Facebook, search for Live with Wolfman, and then you can join the group. You have access to all the other episodes, all the other 19 of them. But until then, I'm gonna call it a wrap for today. Jeff, thanks for being on the show.
No problem.
I will catch you guys later. Peace.
All right. See you guys.